daily soccer podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Daily Manchester United. Oh, this is a voice you haven't heard for a long time, isn't it? It's a face you haven't seen for a long time. But it's me, it's Kieran. I'm here again after a bit of a hiatus. And all of a sudden, United starting doing good things again. Yeah, weird that. After the win against Crystal Palace, the comeback from behind, we're not staying around at Palace much longer. We're going to head to West Ham for a midweek game for Manchester United. You couldn't write this stuff if you tried. Well, off the back of that 2-1 win, which was quite nice to see, Xerxes getting a first goal, and I think it was about 364 days, I read. So that was good for him. Nearly a year of, a calendar year, whilst he hasn't gone for a goal. So it was nice to see him on the score sheet, and Mason Mount getting on the score sheet as well. Again, both of them from set pieces. Make of that what you will. But in any case, it was nice to actually see us win a game. Unfortunately, I didn't see sort of the whole game. I've had to see snippets. But Palace seemed to be really on top in the first half. And then the second half, United started to kick in and actually remembered how to kick a football around. It was nice to see. It just sort of, they awoken, and that was that. Both goals kind of from set pieces. Again, I've mentioned that already, but it's worth saying again. Whether that's a case of, things are working in the training ground. I mean, the second goal is great. I loved it. The roll from Fernandes and then, Mount just takes it on. It's a great goal. So that was good. And just looking at some of the stats as well, evens on shots taken, 8 on target for United, 6 on target for Palace. So it was a case of, did we deserve it? If you look by the XG that I'm looking at, maybe not. But who cares? We got 3 points, and that's what matters. And that puts us 7th place at the time of recording, behind Sunderland. I got to admit, I didn't expect that coming into this, but we have a better goal difference than Liverpool. Again, I didn't expect that. We're actually above Liverpool thanks to goal difference. Again, didn't expect that. So, it's looking, okay. I look at the table and I just think, Europe's only 3 points away. But then again, I got into this. I got lulled into this trap last year. If you were listening around that time around, last year was exactly the same. I got lulled into that false sense of security of, it'll be fine. We're in Europe. We're not that far away from Europe. We'll be fine. All of a sudden, we finish 15th. Yeah, just if you hadn't already heard, United finished 15th last season. But there we go. But focus must go to the West Ham game. And West Ham's form, I would describe it as patchy. That's the best way I can describe it. They've just come off of a 2-0 loss against Liverpool. Liverpool, who were struggling to score, who were struggling to get goals. Actually, I retract, they were struggling to score. They weren't struggling to score. They were struggling to win. They were struggling with actually conceding goals. I sort of watched the highlights from their game in the Champions League, where a handball is apparently, according to Virgil van Dijk, it's up there is fine. And if you're listening along, it's just me raising my hand up in the air. I'm sure you got that from inference. But West Ham currently 17th place. They have been struggling for form. I mean, they're coming off a back of, I'd say they're struggling for form, but looking back at their last 5 games, that's 2 wins and a draw, I think. So it's not the worst run of form, but they haven't started the season off at all well. It took them quite a while to actually get up and running. And doesn't it show? I mean, the first win of their season, I'm just having a look through, was the win against Newcastle in November, match day 10. So it took them a while to get going. But when they did, they picked up a win against Burnley. They drew away at Bournemouth, which in fairness is not actually the worst result in the world when you come to think of it. A 2-0 loss at Liverpool at home. Again, against Liverpool, who on paper have a fantastic team. Don't think that's the end of the world. They have a team that's not really performing and singing from the same hymn sheet at the moment. But a midweek game, Thursday, you can watch the West Ham game. It'll be on, if you're watching the UK, Sky Sports Premier League and Sky Sports Main Event. God, 2 of them. Yeah, this is great. We are in the big time now. That is for sure. But a game against West Ham, it's not an easy game. No games are easy games. And we've proven that time and time again, where we're all in this together as Manchester United fans, that it just doesn't work out that way, does it? But at the moment, 7th place isn't bad. I think, our predictions were around 6th to 8th place. I went on a miserable rant just before I went on my hiatus and said we're going to finish bottom half. Do I still think that? Watch this space. No, I think we'll get top half. I think I've got top half, but again, something that's going to come up and something that has been coming up over the last month, especially whilst I've been away, is that little consistency with tactics and maybe a little bit too much consistency. The game against Everton comes to mind. You know, if a team goes down to 10 men, half an hour in, they just have to get men behind the ball because we'll also put men behind the ball. Doesn't make a lot of sense in my mind, but there you go. That's where your sort of tactical prowess and your flexibility has to evolve, and it has to bring something. Even if you were to push up the wingers as sort of midfielders along the flanks, would have been better than having five players behind the ball. It just didn't make a lot of sense. But hey ho, you know, we lost against Everton. We've got a win against Palace, and it's that inconsistency that seems to be a little bit, well, I would probably say a little bit worrying. That's going to be my point of view. But worrying and we're still top half of the table is okay. I think we've had games where we've not been in control and managed to actually somehow get the points. The win against Liverpool earlier in the season comes to mind, where I was hiding behind a sofa at my friend's house watching that one. That was brutal towards the end of that game. But, you know, it comes to it. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I wasn't expecting us to have... To say a good of a time is harsh, I think, because we're 4 points off City at this point. I just think teams around us are also struggling, and teams around us are also struggling with inconsistency, which benefits us because that means we're 7th. So, I don't know. West Ham should be... I don't want it to be an interesting game, but it unfortunately will be. And I think for all the wrong reasons. So I just want to go there and get a win. Please, Manchester United, please get yourselves a win. I don't know. It's going to be tricky. It's going to be tricky. Well, in the meantime, when I come back, it's going to be a bit of a predicted 11 as to who I think will start for Manchester United. This should be a good one, and you can let me know if you agree or disagree. But before that, we'll go to a quick break. And when we come back, it's predicted 11 time.
Your daily soccer podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.
Your body is unique. And Global Sports Podcast Network has partnered with Bionic, the world's most personalised supplements. Bionic provide 100% tailor-made supplements designed to deliver precisely what your body needs at exactly the right levels to optimise your health. No guessing. So click the link in the show notes. Use the code GSPN2025 for 40% off your first month's subscription. Bionic. Don't settle for off-the-shelf solutions made for just anybody. Get what's right for you right now.
Your daily soccer podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.
So, team news then. This coming directly from the Manchester United website, courtesy of an article by Adam Marshall. So thank you, Adam, for putting together the article and giving us an insight into how the team is looking potentially for the West Ham game. Matheus Cunha, Adam says, will hopefully be available again after his 2-game layoff, while we also await updates on Harry Maguire and Benjamin Sesko. What was nice to see was Lisandro Martinez, as the article mentions, came off the bench against Palace late on to make his first appearance since February, which was great to see. We've missed Licha. We've missed our little butcher at the back. And I think, honestly, this is now going to put my theory to the test of we are a better team with Licha in the side. So hopefully he's going to get back up and running. He's going to make sure that, he gets back to his best. Will he start against West Ham? I don't think so. I think it's going to be a doubt for that one. But, hey, I'm always here, to see how that will all play out. I hope it is a case that he's back to full fitness. But will he be back to full fitness this time, this side of Christmas? I don't know. And especially when it comes to Christmas with the fixture congestions, again, I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see. I hope he does. I hope he makes that. We've got Shea Lacey, who's been an unused substitute for the past 2 games, getting closer to a first-team debut. I could see him coming off the bench against West Ham. I mean, it's going to be a case of we're going to need rotation. We're coming into the Christmas fixture congestion time. And whilst we haven't had to struggle with fixture congestion like other teams around us have had, this is our first midweek game, I think, since about, I want to say October. Might have been earlier than that. So this is, a test now of fitness. It's a test to make sure that all of the players are fit and ready, and this is where the fixture congestion will come in, and rotation is going to be a huge factor for Manchester United, especially in this period where other teams have already had it, say Champions League, Europa League, Conference League. This is United now coming into that period of rotation is going to be key. And if Shea Lacey can provide that, it's going to be crucial. It's going to be critical. Other team news from West Ham, of course, Lucas Paquetá got himself sent off in the last game against Liverpool for, I believe, dissent in the end with a second yellow card. Again, I don't know, but he's on the attack, so I will just leave it there. In any case, he'll miss the game against Manchester United, and of course, according to the article, Fabianski is out with a back problem. Oliver Skars is absent due to shoulder injury, and Crysancio Somerville could return. And he's a player that I kind of think can make an impact, and he's definitely one of those that I'm expecting to hear his name shouted as the commentators say he scored like his first goal in, I don't know, so much so. But hey, it is what it is. I would say that I don't want that to happen. I have a sneaking suspicion it might. But hey, what can you do? What can you do? What comes to now then is with Licha, making his way back into the side. I don't think he'll start. So let's get this started then. Lamens probably starting in goal makes the most sense. He's been patchy, but I think okay in the end. I think at back three, Shaw will probably start his, 301st game for Manchester United. Amazing that he's been here for that long. I think De Ligt, Yoro, I think, didn't have his best game against Palace. Obviously responsible for the first, or the penalty, I should say, because of course the penalty was taken twice. That's why I said first penalty, but I'm wrong. It was a first penalty that was taken twice and scored both times. It was clumsy from Yoro. He didn't have to do it, or he felt like he needed to, but it cost us a goal. He's young, he'll learn, and I think that means I think he'll start in the next game. I think it will be a same back three of Shaw, De Ligt, and Yoro. That's purely the fact that I don't think Litch is going to be fit to start, and I don't think Maguire is going to be risked at this point. It sounds like from the Manchester United website that their awaiting update probably means that he's going to be missing from that one. Same with Šeško as well. Wing backs, I want to see Dorgu back. I feel like I'm one of those that just feels like Dorgu is I think is good enough. I know Sam over the past few weeks has sort of said that he's not good enough for top class Man United teams, and that may be the case. But for right now, for what we have right now, I think he's a good player. So I would play him more often. I'm not a fan of Dalot down the left-hand side. I'd rather Dorgu. I don't think Dalot plays his better football down the left-hand side, and that feels like a conversation we had a year and a half ago. He's shown spells, but I don't think they're good enough. I think I want Dorgu to start at left wing back, and I think he will start. He did come on as a late substitute as well, so hopefully that's the case. Hopefully he'll start. Do I think he'll start? Yes. Deep in the midfield, we know Fernandes as that deeper role-playing game maker in that midfield will probably start. Now, will Casemiro start a midweek game? This is where we could see someone like Kobbie Mainoo come into that midfield, start against West Ham to allow Casemiro to have that rotation. Because up to this point, really, Casemiro has not been relied on in sort of the midweek games or whatnot. So I think this is a chance for Mainoo to start alongside Fernandes. Will it work? I don't know. But I want to see it happen. I want to see it try, because Mainoo at this rate is probably going to go out on loan in January. If we don't use him enough, he's going to go out on loan. So I'd rather use him now than regret not using him further down the line. So I think Mainoo will start. I think Casemiro won't be on the bench. Probably Casemiro will come on later in the game, either to give us that defensive bolster when hopefully we've got a lead, or provide us that spine in the back to allow us to press on if we need a goal. Who knows? I'm doing my best to guess, but hey-ho. I think Ahmad as well will start down the right wing back. It's either going to be him or Mazraoui. I think Ahmad is probably going to start that one. I think this is the game to start him. You need a team that's going to attack West Ham. And that sounds like, to me, Dorgu and Ahmad down those left wing backs, join the attack, essentially make it that 4 or 5 attackers up front, really overload West Ham and hope they don't counter. He says. Attacking midfield, I see no reason why Mason Mount doesn't start again. He's coming for the injured Cunha. I would start him again alongside Mbermo. It makes the most sense to me. Why change something that last game proved that it wasn't broken? And then who starts up top? Well, if Šeško's out injured, Xerxes is probably going to start. And I really hope that goal he got, it's a nice finish as well. I hope that goal he's got has given him the confidence to press forward and push on and be that striker we know that he's got the potential to be. Is he going to be a world-class striker? Probably not. But is he going to be one of those cult strikers you just think, in those dark times, he was there and he got us 15, 16 goals a season? That's what I want from Xerxes. And he describes himself as a 9.5. Well, maybe he'll work with Mount and Burmo and Fernandes to sort of work out, hopefully, a couple of goals for him. He's got the one goal. He got it, his first goal in over a year in football. Let's see what he can do come the end of that one. Score prediction, I think it's going to be Man United 2, West Ham 1. I do think there's going to be a silly goal we concede, but that's the way it is, I think. I don't think we'll keep a clean sheet, but I think we'll get the win. And let me know. Predicted 11. It's probably wrong, but I did my best. I had my best shot at it, and we'll see what happens. Thank you so much for listening as well. Make sure you join in the conversation as well. Perhaps I got the team wrong. Perhaps you know something that I don't. Ooh. Let us know on the social medias. We're at GSPN Man United. You can find us on Facebook, on Twitter and X, on Instagram, and on TikTok as well. So make sure you join the conversation there. You can also watch our episodes on YouTube. Don't forget, if you're listening on Spotify or Apple, you can head over to the Daily Man United podcast. It's the GSPN Daily Man United podcast. It's such a long name, so you have to remember it. And that's the tagline. You can watch all the episodes now, and you can see I'm having a smile at you. And you see, Spotify and Apple listeners, you're missing out if you're not watching on YouTube. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching and listening to today's episode of the Daily Manchester United. We'll be back then to hopefully review a win of the West Ham game. Who knows? But I hope you'll join us for it. In the meantime, I've been Kieran. You've been listening and watching. Take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you in a bit. Bye-bye.
Your daily soccer podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.